Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, you're highly welcome. It's your girl Esther on your TV screen again. So today I'm basically going to be telling us some stories. Basically my story today is about my NYC journey. So in the year 2021, I finally graduated after a whole lot of time wasted. There'll be a story for another day. So in 2021 October, I finally graduated and I was so excited about NYC. Like I was really excited to go for it. You know, those times when you see people wearing white and white, like doing you like, let's go there, let's sit and all that. So before then, I've basically been praying to God. Like I've been telling God that wherever you send me, I'll go. If you don't mean that thing, don't even say God, wherever you send me, I'll go, because at the end of the day, they might just send you to a place that you might not really like at all. But basically, I wanted to go anywhere God sent me, but I actually had two places in mind. I had Abuja. I was trusting God for Abuja basically because I wanted to be attending a particular church program there. Like I'm like, if I get to Abuja, I'll be attending this particular program and I'm going to be like on fire by the time I'm coming back home. And I also thought of Ibadan because I just feel Ibadan is a simple state and it should not be that difficult to live in. But I don't know, but a lot of things is that because of where I'm coming from, everybody was like, you're supposed to go to the east. And in fact, I started talking to one of my neighbors that is from the east. I'm like, if they post me to the east, do you know anybody? And she's like, let them post you first and all that. So finally, I got posted. Guys, I got posted to Gombe State. And you know, I've not even checked. I remember that period I was trying to make my hair. I just wanted to make sure that this camp is good for me. I had everything I needed. And so I tried checking sometime and I couldn't just check. Network was just doing it. Also, I left it and I went to make my hair. And I remember a lot of people even offering to help me check the portal for the whole NYC stuff. And later, my friend just called me and said, Esther, did you work your service? You are posted to the north. I'm like, I did not work it. She's like, no, this is cheating. Why should they post you to the north? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, guy, I didn't work it. That's where it is. And in my head, I'm like, Gombe. Me, Gombe. How? Why would they put me in the north? Like, there's no any relationship between me and there because I'm from there. Why should you send me back and all that? So, anyways, that's how it came to Gombe. And you know, I came back home, I'm like, okay, after making my hair, I came back home, I was like, okay, let's see when we'll go. And I was already thinking, because I remember I told one of my friends, and he was like, wow, that is heaven. Guys, please ignore these dogs. Like, I keep saying it in my videos. Any day I decide to shoot, they begin to bark. They want to enter the video. I apologize on their behalf. So, I remember my friend telling me that, Gombe, heaven. And the thing didn't get to my mind. I'm like, when you say heaven, what do you mean? Like, it is far away. And in my mind, I'm like, oh wow, it's far. And I basically checked. I saw by road 26 hours. I said, what? That's more than a day. So how do I do that? And that was a Monday, and I'm supposed to be in camp on Thursday and all that. So thank God for my younger brother who helped me. Like, he just decided that, you calm down, don't be worried, I'll talk to daddy about it. So my brother basically helped me arrange how I'll get to Gombe. Because I was thinking, okay, get boss, nice journey, blah blah blah. But thank God for my brother that helped me to organize everything, and finally I went by air to Gombe. But one thing I told God is that I'm not angry you posted me to Gombe, is that help me to know if I'm to stay or not. And I went on Wednesday. We didn't know anybody in Gombe at that time, so my dad, through somebody that knows somebody, got us somebody who was a very beautiful host at that time. I went to stay at her house. She came to pick me at the airport. I stayed there. But one thing I told God is that if you want me to stay in Gombe, let me start finding favor from the airport. Let me see people, because I'm a people person. I really don't like a situation whereby I get a new people, because before I don't know anybody, I will not enter a state and like no father, no mother, nobody, no, not even church. That was one of my concerns. Of church, like, what church will I attend? I just like, okay, Redeem and Gunas will always be everywhere and all that. So I got to Gombe. I'm getting to Gombe. I got there at the airport. I was waiting for the person that was coming to pick me, and I just had in my spirit to talk to someone. So I went to meet her. Oh, madam, how is Gombe? And she's like, I don't live here. Go and talk to those girls there. I didn't even know they were coppers. Like, I did not know. So I basically walked up to one. I'm like, excuse me, good afternoon, please. I want to ask you, how is Gombe? And she's like, ah, Gombe is a beautiful place, blah 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 blah. Guys, let me tell you something that happened before that time. I met some girls that came with me from the airport, and basically these girls were planning to redeploy. So I knew that I cannot be friends with this one, because I've already told God that whatever you send me, I will go. And I'm not coming with friends that are just waiting for the 3 weeks to be over. In fact, that the day the 3 weeks is ending, that's the day they are flying back to Lagos and all that. So back to the lady I met her, they were like, oh, I'm from Akwa Ibom, I'm actually batch B, and it has been so beautiful, blah blah blah, things are cheap, this is the deal, blah blah. Okay. And the good thing is that she was like, I will give you the number of someone to connect to in camp, so that when you get there things will be easier for you. Oh, she even taught me how I will not spend a lot of my money on things that are not necessary and all that. God bless you, gift for what you did to me in Gombe. And so I was picked. Thank God I slept over inside Gombe town, because the camp is out in the outskirts of Gombe, very close to the airport, Amada camp and all that. So I spent a night in Gombe, and I now took a bike back to Amada camp. And when I saw the road into Gombe, the state, I looked around, no traffic, the roads are tarred, there was light. I didn't know they had good light like that, and I'm like, this does not look bad and all that. So I went to camp. Day one in camp, I went to do everything. Like, when you're coming with your mufti, like, you just want to change into that white, not knowing that by the time you change into that white, is wahala, problem, stress. I mean, I'm someone that basically, I don't like army people around me. I just feel even if they are my friends, they can mistakenly shoot me. I don't like anything gun around me. So that is how sure I got a room. And on getting to the room, I realized that my room was filled with people already, and I'm like, people here will already like know themselves. I begged me go and look for one empty room. I looked for an empty room, put in my look. Before I need, more people started coming, and camp began. But I was still concerned, because I remember one day when the campground, I just heard some Hausa boys saying, ah, if Boko Haram should just enter this place, anybody that is their time to die, they will just die. I say, hey, God, oh, me, I not come here to die. Me, I want to live. What is all this? I'm like, damn it, there's really Boko Haram in this place. But they've been telling us it's peaceful. Then one time too, they now had this meeting that they now said there's a way the trumpet will sound whenever we're supposed to collect food, we're supposed to do certain things, and they're like, there's even a sound in case there's this emergency. Let's say Boko Haram is here, because they're like, we even have Boko Haram around among us, so we can't say they're not here. It's just that we have to be very careful. I'm like, God, and I'm supposed to do one whole year, like in this Gombe, a whole year. Hey, Lord have mercy. So, I went, I sure kept doing my thing, blah blah. I think one thing I really didn't like about camp is that early morning stuff. I don't see the point for it. Like, why do you wake me up by 3 o'clock to come out? And guys, one thing about Gombe is that, one thing about the north is that whenever it's December period, the cold that you feel, oh Lord. And I didn't know about maybe carrying a white cardigan to camp and all that. And I remember the first day we came out, my body was shaking. I was always looking forward to us doing cha-cha, changing the body. Like, now is when you will jump and run around so that you can feel warm a little bit and all that. I think I don't like that morning stuff at all. I really don't like it. It's not my thing. Like if you can remove it, camp will be more fun without that money waking up and all that. So back to the story of the whole insecurity thing, and I'm like, God, how will I do this? So I basically went to God to pray. I said, God, I said, wherever you send me, I'll go. Wherever. Like, I was asking myself, Esther, did you have sense when you were asking God that wherever he sends you, you will go? Like, this is where he has sent you in Gombe, and you're like asking him again. And I'm like, God, maybe I should just redeploy to Ibadan, and that way I feel I'll be better. But one day I went to pray, and I'm like, God, Gombe. It's not still I don't want to stay, but I'm even scared. And a lot of people I'm seeing are just saying they are not staying, they are not staying, they are not staying, and all that. And the Holy Spirit said to me, you said wherever he sends you, you will go. So stop praying. There's not even need. I not stop praying, oh guys. I did not stop praying. Like, I still kept praying. But I remember I called my dad, and I'm like, this is the way things are. What do you think? And my dad was like, what was your prayer before? And I'm like, wherever God sends me, I'll go. And he's like, so why are you now saying you want to come back? But I said, stay back. God will keep you wherever you are. One thing we have to know is that wherever you are is God that keeps you and all that. So I'm like, okay, I will stay. This one today I will say I'll stay. Tomorrow I'll say, oh, I'm not staying. But you know, basically it came to the point of writing a deployment letter to tell them you're not staying, and a lot of times you have to give a health condition or blah blah blah. And I'm like, do I have to write? And I remember my word and my room were like, Esther, where you're staying is far. How many hours journey? Blah 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 blah. And I just came to a conclusion that okay, let me stay back. But before I came to a conclusion, guys, let me tell you what made me to finally decide. One night I went to pray, because one thing I've learned in life is always talk to God about every problem I have. So one night I went to pray, and I'm like, God, just speak to me. It was a Saturday. I said, speak to me about this Gombe thing, because I've already found favor since I got here. Because another thing I told you that I want to find favor, and from the airport I found favor from that girl that connected me to Evilson, an official in camp, who later helped me to work my place of primary assignment. Even though that one wanted to mess up, but he came up, he met the wrong person, because there are certain things that people do that you as a believer you will not do. And that's right for another day. So that night I went to pray, and I'm like, God, please speak to me about this Gombe. And the one way that I know God speaks to me a lot is through my dreams. Like, if I sleep and dream about something, I know that and that night I slept. But before I slept, God, I said, God, I want you to speak to me as I sleep about this Gombe thing. Then also when I get to church, NCCF on Sunday, that is the church in camp, let the man of God talk about something like this. So people say it's a coincidence, but because me I prayed, I didn't see it as a coincidence. So when I slept, I slept, and I had a dream about me being in Gombe, walking the street of Gombe. Like, I was basically happy in that dream, because everything was about Gombe and all that. So I woke up the next day and went to church, and I met this Pastor Daniel. And when he began to talk, I think one thing he said that got me think that made me like feel like I was not doing the right thing by saying I wanted to redeploy was when he said the reason why a lot of us are trying to do certain things is because we are naked and ashamed. And he said whenever you are naked, that's when shame comes in. He said something about you finding joy in God. He said the reason why Adam and Eve were naked is because the glory of God left them. And it's like, has God's glory left you that you suddenly want to live where God has sent you? I'm like, God's glory has not left me, and I shouldn't be naked. Like, I've been trusting God for this thing, so why should I just like give it up and just like redeploy, because every other person is redeploying and all that. So after the whole message, I said, okay, I am staying back. I remember then I had a roommate, she's from Taraba. We're not that close in camp, and I just told her I was stay. She's like, hey, I told you Gombe is not a bad place, it's peaceful, blah 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 blah. And that's how we continue. So let me go back to the story of how I got my place of primary assignment. So the lady that gave me an official's phone number, the guy in OBS phone number told me that he helped me to my place of primary assignment. And when I went to meet him and he's like, what did you study? I'm like, accounting. Like, oh, that would be good, you teach math. I'm like, who? I'm not even a mathematics. I don't even like math. And another thing, I don't want shouting. Another thing is that I want a place where I will not be going to work all the time. Guys, it's not because I'm lazy. I just needed time for myself. I wanted to use NYC here to actually chill and rest and all that. So we met and he said, okay, that means I'll put you in Ministry of Finance. I'm like, that is possible. And he's like, but you'll be going to work once in a month. I said, so is that possible? I want to go to work once in a month because this girl came to Gombe to rest and all that, because I've actually been very busy in the past years and all that. So that is the connection I had, right? But one thing that the Holy Spirit kept telling me was that, Esther, don't trust a man, trust in God. Don't trust in man, trust in God. So I began to pray concerning the whole place of primary assignment. But one thing I knew was that I didn't want to be posted to the village. Me, I like light. I don't want to get to a village that there's no light. So I really wanted a place that was light and all that. So I shall began to pray. And one day the guy called me. No, he messaged me on like, Esther, as I can see, you're in your room, you're in your bed, blah, blah, blah. Can I take you to town? I'm like, town for what? What do you want to go and do in town? And he's like, to go and have fun and all that. And in my mind, I'm like, it's not you and me that will go and have fun. God forbid. So I shall told him that I'm a child of God. There are certain things as a believer I would not do. And so I think basically this guy is used to helping ladies by sleeping with them. So I told him, as a believer, I can't do that kind of thing. If you want to help me, you should help me. If you don't want to help me, it's no problem. Wherever I'm posted to, I'll go and all that. He was not like, so you don't love me? I said, sir, I love you, agape love, with the love of the Lord. He said, that's not the love he's talking about. I now told him, but the other love you're talking about is not even a great kind of love. The love I'm talking to, that I said I love you with, is an unconditional love. So why you complain about me not loving you? And I'm like, you're my brother in Christ Jesus, so I have no option than to love you. So anyways, after that day, the guy gave up. And me, I'm like, oh, this connection thing is not going to work because this guy wants to take you to town and you are not going to town. So I left it and I just continued praying. But one day, the beautiful thing is, guys, one thing I think you should pick is that obedience. One day, I was in camp. I didn't involve myself in a lot of sporting activities because I don't know. I was just overwhelmed with whether I should stay or not. So I was not even really there and all that. And I wasn't feeling fine at this point and all that. So one day, they were looking, one day, you know, this that they'll give platoon by platoon duty. So I just raised my hands that I'll wash plates in the kitchen. Not knowing this washing of plates is not a joke. You'll be washing all those massive pots. And that day, guess what they cooked? Beans. But it was God that even made me to do that. So instead of me being on the field marching that afternoon, I was washing plates in the kitchen. And I realized that my platoon members didn't come out, and I now asked one of the officials, can I go and pick my phone from where I'm charging so I can call others so they will come? Because these people don't really know and all that. So she's like, I go and get your phone. And as soon as I got my phone, I started calling them. I just had in my spirit, put on your WhatsApp. So I turned on my WhatsApp and I saw this official's number. Oh, send me your details. I'm like, oh wow, really? Sent him my details. That is like few days ago, sent him my details, and that was it. After sending him my details, I was just like, well, wherever, me, I'm not going to trust in you because I don't give you what you wanted. So call it work and all that. So I shall left that one and continued my life. Tuesday morning, when we're supposed to leave camp, I just had in my spirit that there's a girl in my room I should be very close to. Like, this is someone I was not really close to. I just had, the only thing we did is that we go church together, and that's this one is together. So I just felt be, be close to this girl. Like, this is a girl, I don't even have her number. It was after we have even left our room, I just heard, look for this lady's number. I began to look for her number, not knowing that she herself, the Holy Spirit, had told her, look for Esther's number. As I was looking for her number, she just called me, and that's how we jammed. And we just stood together. That they were basically hugging ourselves as if they divide us, we will die. These are people that they've not even like known themselves for long and all that. And I remember that day I was holding her, and they were calling different local government. And you know, when the devil is on you, he's like, Esther, I'm sure they have called you to one village, and because you were not listening, you did not hear. Anyway, my friend came. Her name is Judith from Taraba, awesome lady. So my friend came. We stood holding ourselves, waiting to hear our own local government. And when we got to Gombe local government, guys, they called my GM code, my state code. I did not hear. It was my friend that was like, Esther, they just called you here in Gombe. They collected the thing. When I collected the paper, I couldn't even read because I was just so excited that I was in Gombe City and all that. And she's like, Minister of Finance, you got it. And I'm like, hell, Lord, thank you for the Minister of Finance, but hope this guy will not disturb me while I stay in Gombe. Anyways, maybe I'll block number. It's none of my business and all that. So that's how she too, she was posted to Gombe. And you know, from there, while we're standing, I've already told her that we're going to stay in a church family house, so that from there we can look for how we like locate where we're doing a place of primary assignment. Meanwhile, I've already booked my flight back to Lagos. I was to come back Friday. So as I was standing collected our sleep, that's how I just turned, and one guy just came and said, oh, would you like to stay in Anglican family house, blah 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 blah. And I looked at my friend and said, let's go. Me, I don't want a place whereby there are so many people and crowd. I beg go. I don't want wahala. Wonderful people. That's how they took us to Anglican family house. They cooked for us, took care of us. I went to my place of primary assignment, came back home and all that. I remember the day I was leaving camp, I was very, very sick. Oh Lord. It was as if I was going to die. To even stand was so that when I go to the family house, I was just lying down. When people were trying to gather around and connect, Esther was on her bed. I was just on my bed and all that. So that's how I went to my place of primary assignment, did everything. My friend traveled back to Taraba. I traveled back to Lagos. And the plan was to return to Gombe. In my Ministry of Finance, I came across COP members. And guys, that is how I just decided, the person I met that looked very house-ish, I had decided to stay with this lady. But I remember something. I remember the Holy Spirit telling me, why will you just stay with this person? You just met her. Do you even know her? And I'm like, God, she knows the terrain. I've not been in the north for a long time. She understands people better. Let's just stay together. And we decided to stay together. In fact, we had to give, let me say, bribe. We had to give staff in Ministry of Finance some money to get us accommodation. Ministry accommodation, no. Me, I'm like, I don't care, just take your, it wasn't no 7.5 we paid them. So two of us paid 15K. Got a space and life was good. Good. We're living. But it will still come to me. This, that. Okay. Left it. My people, after some time, I didn't know I chose a wrong person to live with. Like, I lived with this lady that to the point that you got to a point that this girl was willing to beat me. And me, I'm like, I thought as adult, there's an age we get to that anything physical, like beating people physically, should be out of the space. Like, let's use words, let's use our mouth. You don't like something I'm doing, like, just tell me and all that. And by the time we had our fight and all that, I realized when you live with people, boundaries is very important. Because there was a point where, like, she wanted to control me, but I felt we're adults. Let's just be free to do anything we want to do and all that. At the end of the day, I had to move out of the room, which is another story for another day. The way God did that one was a miracle, and I moved to another room. But guys, you know the beautiful thing? One thing I realized is that God has a way of meeting us in every point of in any time, at any time that we're in need. Because I remember when I was having issues with my roommate, I've already told her that I plan to come to Gombe. I will not come back till after NYC. So let's buy everything together. When I'm leaving, I won't carry anything because I'll be coming back to Lagos by air. So we basically contributed and bought everything together. We came together, blah 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 blah. And when the fight happened, I knew that. So that means I had to buy everything again. But do you know one thing? My friend Judith, God bless her. Judith, God bless you. Bought everything she needed. The marriage came in. We're thinking Judith will get married by October, November, and marriage just came in March. And she had to get married, move to where her husband was in Maiduguri. So all her things she had in the lodge, she gave me her gas, which was the most important thing because I had bought pot before. So I was just living, doing my thing and all that. And when she now finally came back from Maiduguri, I thought I would have to give her her gas back. But at the end of the day, she was like, I have another one in Maiduguri, let them send it to me. And that's how this lady gave me her gas too. I left. In fact, we're basically cooking together. And guys, the experience I had with Judith was that she now got pregnant after marriage, and I trekked. Guys, when Judith got pregnant, Judith would say, Esther, let's trek to the market. To buy what? Pap. We would trek, we would trek. We will see this one on the road, buy it. We'll see this one on the road, buy it. One time I said, Judith, you're the one that is pregnant. I am not pregnant. I cannot be eating the way you eat. And you know the fact that she didn't have her husband with her, I now had to basically move to her room, sleep in her room. And one day she's like, Esther, let's eat together. As you're eating, it will make me eat. I'm like, I'm not planning to add weight, sister. I want to lose weight this NYC. But it was just a beautiful experience. In fact, one day I had to ask her, I said, the way you feel hungry, like, explain to me this whole pregnancy thing. Like, how on earth will we just finish eating and zoom, you're hungry again? And she just explained and all that. I remember sometimes she would do like a baby. I'm like, Father, why are you allowing me to experience this pregnancy thing and all that? One day, Judith cooked fried okra. Like, we fried okra. We first fried the okra inside palm oil, added everything, and we're using it to eat rice. Like, God, you know, you're eating swallow. No rice we ate with it. We used to eat swallow. You know when you use swallow to eat okra that is not drying at all. Okra that is not like egusi. We did that too. Another beautiful thing of what I did with Judith was in Gombe, they sell this full chicken roasted, 2,000 naira. So every month, once you collect alawi, we go and buy whole chicken with many wraps, sit down, eat, and we're jaying. Like, we're really having fun and all that. So one day, I didn't like the fact that the first person I met with were not in good terms. I didn't like it at all because I just felt like maybe I was a bad person. I like leaving people on a good note. Like, no matter what, you don't want to make sure, like, let's just pass this through. Like, let's just be tolerating one another until we leave, because I feel the time we have is just 1 year. But I just felt so bad. And one day I was in my room because this girl frustrated me. Oh Lord, frustrated my life. It's never I see that I realize that you can meet someone that you don't know from Adam and they will suddenly hate you for nothing. I'm like, if this girl can tell me this is what you did, and I'll just be apologize and be glad and all that. So one day I was in my room And I was basically talking to God. I'm like, God, why would this person hate me? Blah 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 blah. And the Holy Spirit said to me, Esther, how many people like you in Gombe? And I began to count. A lot of people. I remember in my CDS, I'm the kind of person that might not even talk. But from first day of attending CDS, they made me part of electoral committee. They want to go and visit school, they'll say, Esther, come and follow. They want to do something. In my ministry, guy, the good thing was that in my ministry, I wasn't even like someone that was so close to all the allergies, because me, I want to maintain a pure life. So anything, all these men, I'm very, very careful. So I greet them, I go. I remember one of them asking for my number. I'm like, Daddy, what do you want to use my number to do? I'm a daughter to you. What do you need it for? I just used that one play, and all of us went our ways. I didn't even look at his face, so I will not remember him saying this is the foolish man asking for my number and all that. But you know one thing, guys, with all this the opposition was having from my roommate at that time, because it was bad, that one day I had to go on my knees and pray to God. I said, God, your word says, let no man trouble me. Say, this girl has troubled me, trouble her. I said it. I said, trouble her. See, I've tried everything to live in peace. She's not interested, and she's still. I've left space for her. I've left everything and all that. But guys, you know the good thing? God gave me people. Another beautiful soul God blessed me with was Abigail. Abigail, we're living in the same upstairs. When I came downstairs, my room basically became Abigail's room. And this lady hated Abigail because Abigail was always with me and all that. Like, Abigail, wherever you are, God bless you. Like, you made my stay in Gombe so sweet and beautiful. Like, it was so sweet. Like, me and Abigail, but there's something funny with this. When we're trusting God for money, I'm like, thank you, Father. One thing I always do in Gombe, that when I need money, I'm going to pick my phone and play music and dance. And before you know it, I'm allowed to enter. And I say, I just got money. Abigail will come and tap me. Say, I tap your anointing. The next issue, like, somebody just sent me. I'll say, I'm tapping back. That was the fun thing about her. Like, we just kept encouraging ourselves, and she did so well for me. I remember my birthday was coming. She decided that Esther, dress up, let's go and snap in the street of Gombe. Let's go to their GRA area and all that. And she took me around. We snap. It was just a snapping day. Even my birthday period and my roommate was the period she used to deal with me. After February, we celebrated your birthday. We contributed. Now we basically contributed to celebrate your birthday, and my birthday came. You planned ruining my birthday, and at the end of the day, it didn't work and all that. Like, my birthday gonna say I got gifts. I think let me just use some time to appreciate people I met in Gombe that like made my stay in Gombe so beautiful. So there's this guy, Joshua Tanko, I met in Gombe from Kaduna. He made my stay in Gombe so good. I remember I wanted ice cream on my birthday. I'm like, God, I really want ice cream on my birthday. I don't even know where they sell ice cream in Gombe. And he just brought me ice cream. I'm like, God is good. So Joshua, thank you so much. In case you get to see this video, thank you so much for making my stay in Gombe. Sorry guys for that short break and all that. So before, I was basically appreciating people that made my stay in Gombe special, like that made me to really have fun. And like I've already said, thank you so much to Joshua Tanko that brought me ice cream, and Judith, thank you, the one that gave me gas. She was like a sister. Like, she made me feel at home. Like, I really felt at home. She was that family. I remember my birthday period, her husband was around, and they made that day very special. Abigail, I've told you, thank you. Another person is Lantana. We met Lantana in my ministry, and Lantana is from Katsina State, but she stays in Benin. So like, there's this ginger in her that just makes everybody want to be around her. Lantana was a beautiful person. Lantana is one that made us even know areas. I remember one area they told that she invited us to one time that all of us could not pronounce the place, and I will call the person. Like, we have to give the keke man the phone to like tell the person the pronunciation of the place. I've never heard that word before. Lantana will make my hair, give me. Lantana tried. Lantana was really nice and all that. She was our perfume plug at that time. And Phoebe was really an awesome person, my friend from Kaduna, a very nice lady. Phoebe is someone that can buy something for you and just like give it to you without any stress and all that. Phoebe, thank you so much for making Gombe very special. And there's a person I want to give a shout out to, guys. This person is the CEO of Zia Spices. This woman is rare. Like, so while in camp, the Lord said to me, Esther, learn spices. And I'm like, spices? Why? Like, I'm like, why should I learn spices? And all that. So after coming back from camp, January, February, I was still chilling, trying to get to know Gombe. And I remember the Lord came and said, Esther, I told you to learn spices. And I began to search online for people that know about spices in Gombe. And either I saw Zia Spices. By the time I got to her shop, this woman took me as family. Like, thank you so much, ma, for making my stay in Gombe. Like, she invited me to her house. She took me to, through this woman, I met the president, the vice president. I met the governor of Gombe State. I went to places that ordinary people didn't have access to. This woman dashed me money. This woman gave me food. Thank you so much, ma. And her worker, Mama Waliat. Yeah, Mama Waliat. Thank you so much. Like, they were just so amazing. And her sister, like, I met her sister, I met her brothers. They're just beautiful people. Thank you so much. Then I also want to thank Sister Esther. Yes, of Jail City. Like, she made my stay in Gombe very nice. Thank you, ma. Thank you. The president of my CDS SDG Popular. Thank you so much. This one is one that will message me, Esther, I'm coming. Are you at home? Let me come to your house. He gets to your house and he's looking for what to eat. And me, I'm the kind of person that if you don't tell me you're coming, you're going to make the place clean and empty. Thank you so much, Paul Bala. At least one good thing you did for me was making me have my certificate, SDG certificate, without paying any money. Then taking me to Gateway Christian Center. That church was on point. Oh my goodness. Then Vento gave me mosquito net. I remember one time Vento came to visit me and he was like, why will you be sleeping here without a mosquito net? Come to family house and collect. Always without me to come to NCT. And I'm like, not me and you. I better go. I came to chill and all that. So thank you so much, guys. Actually, I want to thank everybody that made my stay in Gombe so beautiful. It was good. Those in Ministry of Finance that gave me another room when I was having issues. Even my new roommate, Rohina, she was my neighbor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But the thing is, I think the main point in this video is that God is a God of purpose. God is a God of purpose, because the delay I had made me to meet these people. Like, anytime I think of NYC, is the people I met I'm grateful to God for. Guys, when the Bible says we should not forsake the gathering of one another, don't ever live a lonely life. Have people. Like, anytime I think of Gombe, is the people in Gombe that makes me want to go back to Gombe. And anytime I realize that a lot of those people have left Gombe already, I'm like, apart from my boss that I learned spices from the church I was attending. And an advice to people going for NYC actually is that as you go, see that 300, you know, up to 365 days, like, it will come and pass like so fast. Like, treat people well. Yes, I forgot one important person, Rufkatu. Rufkatu, thank you too for being so nice to me. You know, like, God bless you, Rufkatu. God bless you, girl. Rufkatu and I went through a lot in Gombe. She too was not liked by that my roommate, and she really showed her. But guys, you know the beautiful thing? God fought for me. I kept telling Rufkatu something that, see, I won't fight this girl physically. God will fight for me. And it was even after I had left that trouble from somewhere came and she was arrested, and for me that was God fighting for me, none of my business and all that. So as you go for NYC or as you live with somebody, live in peace. See, the time we even have here on earth is so short for you to be very, very troublesome to people, that you treat people anyhow, or see tomorrow you might not need their help. Like, treat people well. And and let me also talk about things I like about Gombe itself. Oh God, I'll buy meat 200 naira. I'll buy pepper 100 naira, and I'll make a pot of stew. Isn't that beautiful? I like that aspect of Gombe. Like, I'll buy meat and do my thing. Then there's this mama they used to sell by the road. Anytime I'm lazy to cook, I'm going to go and buy my moi with pepper. Then there's our masa everywhere. Sugar cane, guys, I ate sugar cane. I remember Judith then when she got pregnant. We'll be walking the street just to look for sugar cane. Let's just, please, these dogs, just ignore them. They're like that. I don't know what to do with them. Maybe, hopefully, by God's grace in future, I won't have dogs. So avoid this nonsense. So I took a lot of sugar cane. There's golden melon, was so plenty there. You can get golden melon 17 naira. I remember buying watermelon 17 naira. Like, I ate a lot of fruit. But what I didn't like about Gombe was like there was no water. We had to be calling me Ruwa. And me, I'm so used to using water. Every day Esther is buying water. But above all, like, I really enjoyed my stay in Gombe, because I look back now, I see that I'm like grateful to God that I stayed back and obeyed. Like, the people I came in contact with, like, they are gifts to me. I remember some days ago I called someone from Yobe that is out of catch to help me get some things, and the price she got it for me at was so beautiful. Imagine I never met her. So NYC is really a very, very good experience that everybody should just enjoy. Except if that state God himself tells you not to, say, like, really stay in that state and just enjoy. Before you know, the whole journey is over and it's begun. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my video to the very end. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, and if you found this video interesting, give it a thumbs up and comment. Please comment and share the video. Watch out for the next video. Bye.